Yeah, I was
Yes,
in
sir.
the demo last time.
Yes.
Okay, cool, very good. So today we are going to get a introduction about Snowflake in detail, and whatever we discussed in the demo is like this basically a high-level introduction about how Snowflake is different from other technologies and why we need to choose Snowflake, and a company has to choose Snowflake, and we discussed about the basic features. And today we are going to discuss about uh, in detail about what is Snowflake and what are the things that we need to go and required to start Snowflake and how to create a Snowflake free account. Usually, Snowflake people want to create a Snowflake account, free account. It will prompt you to go to 30 days free account, but there is another option to create a 120 days account for 4 months, and I'll show you how to create it, and I'll even give you some like a basic commands and how to go and run them, and I will explain about the interface, which is called Snowsite interface also. How to go and like see what are the different tabs in that. Let me share my screen. When I talk
Yes.
about when I talk
Yes, sir.
about
Just not came.
super, very good. So when I talk about Snowflake, right? So we discussed about some features in Snowflake. Why Snowflake is different from other databases or other like cloud technologies. There are very unique features are there. If you go and see, so the first and foremost thing is right why companies are moving or even the data warehousing developers are getting attracted to Snowflake is a completely SQL database. Whatever you do, so whatever the commands you type, so everything is completely ANSI SQL commands. If you know an SQL database, this particular Snowflake commands are also similar to SQL database commands. So we can call Snowflake as a complete SQL database. So every command, when you are trying to learn, you'll feel that you already know. So that is what the flexibility and feasibility with Snowflake. Second thing is zero management. If you go and see most of the databases, right, either Oracle or SQL Server, any database, you want to go and install it and you want to maintain it, you definitely need to have a dedicated team for that. Assume Oracle. I want to create a Oracle database environment and I want to utilize for my enterprise company to maintain my data. I need to depend upon my DBA. So DBA has to create that environment. They have to download, they need to download the Oracle software and we need to buy the license and install it. We need to configure it and we need to have an environment where we create primary database, secondary database, and we definitely need to spend some money to maintain that. So that is where like every company will like think like and feel the extra infrastructure like burden and maintenance burden and they which where the companies were not ready nowadays. So the zero management is where Snowflake is offering. Nothing is we have to do from outside. All the maintenance will be taken care by Snowflake team in the background. Like whatever upgrades will happen, we do not need to even worry. We just need to use it as a user. The actual maintenance will be taken care by Snowflake team in the background. So we don't need to pay anything for maintenance too. Second thing, third thing, I mean like your data can be accessed from anywhere using any device using like during any time 24/7. So I can even access my Snowflake environment using my mobile as well, or my tablet, or from by using my laptop or my PC as well, from any location. That too 24/7. But before this particular type of like Snowflake or any cloud database were in the market, people used to access their databases on a particular location, and they used to use a specific device also, like only PC or laptop. But that flexibility, now we have a flexibility to use to access from any device, like how we access our Gmail. Either I can use my mobile or a tablet, or I can even use my laptop or a PC. I can access from any location. Maybe I can upload my data from India, and I can go and access that uploaded data from Singapore as well. There is no any specific restriction that I should be in India to access the data which I upload from India. So that particular flexibility Snowflake is offering to the customers. And all your users can access the same data, and I can have any number of users, any kind of workload Snowflake is offering. And the final important feature is like pay only for what you are going to use. Pay as you go, just like our postpaid connection, our credit card, where we are going to spend and will pay back. So Snowflake is offering a pay as you go option where you will go and utilize and pay for what you consumed. But how to consume and how the billing will be calculated and all we'll see once you go to Snowflake pricing. I'll explain about that, how Snowflake is going to charge the customer. And but they are offering a pay as you go, pay only after use, like approach, and where you can pay after you consume and you utilize the Snowflake environment. And coming to like architecture wise, right? Snowflake, as I discussed in the demo, Snowflake follows a traditional architecture. Basically will be like a shared disk architecture where you will have a single disk, and this will be utilized by multiple machines. If any machine will go, like this will go down, for example, sorry, if this particular storage disk will go down, all this will be down, because all are interlinked. All these three are depending on this particular storage disk, because this is a single cluster, and where these machines are accessing, or these clusters are accessing. So, but coming to like the traditional, like modern architecture, right? Every database is following a shared nothing architecture. So shared nothing means every machine will have its own storage. So no need to worry about even one will go down. You will have other machine, like storage will be there to provide the data. So here, this is the best optimal architecture companies are following now. So Snowflake follows a combination of both, where we can say like a multi-cluster shared data centralized architecture to access your data from anywhere using any device during any time. So that is where Snowflake is like allowing the customers to create even the multi-cluster. So multi-cluster architecture, and you can maintain any amount of data. That is the flexibility. And architecture wise, Snowflake architecture is divided into 3 layers. And first layer is service layer or cloud services layer. Second layer is, we call it as a compute layer, this one. And third one, storage layer. So these 3 layers are like basically divided, your environment will divide into these 3 layers, and you will use the first and cloud services layer, whatever you can see here, this first layer. This is basically to manage your environment. Like for example, authentication. When you log in into Snowflake environment, so you will log in through cloud services layer only, your ID and password, and any like a metadata related to like your username or like a tables information or whatever it is, the database side, that will be maintained in this particular layer only. Also, your optimization, query optimization will be done in this layer, and infrastructure management also will be done in this layer. So, and security, many things related to the environment, those will be taken care in this layer. Second layer, like compute layer, also called as virtual warehouse layer. The second one, this layer is responsible for the actual development work. So where you are going to run your SQL commands, and this layer is responsible for running your SQL like commands. So in one thing which you need to remember here is, in the second layer, like compute layer, to run your SQL commands, you definitely need to have a virtual warehouse available. A virtual warehouse is nothing but like where it is a group of machines, or you can call a warehouse as a group of clusters, and each cluster is again group of machines. So this warehouse is not like normal data warehouse. It is just like a compute. Compute means which will provide resources to run your queries. To run my query, I need resources, memory, CPU. I also need a temporary storage. These resources will be provided by the virtual warehouse. If you have a virtual warehouse available, you can run your queries in Snowflake. If I don't have any virtual warehouse, I cannot run my queries. So always remember, a virtual warehouse is mandatory to run your SQL queries in Snowflake environment. So your billing will be calculated based on your virtual warehouse consumption only. So Snowflake will calculate how you are utilizing your virtual warehouse. According to that only, they will charge you. And third one, storage layer, where you are going to store your data. So when you are creating a Snowflake account based on AWS, so Snowflake offer the customer to create the Snowflake account in 3 different clouds. First is AWS, second one like Azure, third one GCP. So whatever the cloud you select, according to that cloud, they will store your data. If you are using AWS environment, your data will be stored in the S3 bucket, and your virtual warehouses will be created on the EC2 instances. If you are using Azure environment, they will store your data in the Azure Blob Storage, and your virtual warehouses will be maintained in the Azure VM instances like that. So every cloud has its own way of maintaining the data. Snowflake will use that particular cloud services to maintain your data, and your storage layer is responsible for managing your data in a centralized location. And this is the 3-layer architecture, which is very important, which you need to understand as a Snowflake developer, because most of the times you will work on this particular second layer only as a developer, but you should have a fair knowledge about how your data will be even stored in Snowflake environment. So Snowflake will store the data automatically by compressing or by encrypting the data in their environment, and you do not even need to encrypt it. Snowflake will automatically do that. Even you have sensitive data, you do not need to encrypt it. Snowflake will do that, and they will save so much amount of your money and time also.